Bay Wildlife Reserve. Just a couple safety reminders before we get this show on the road. Please remain seated at all times. That includes little ones sitting in your lap. And also keep your hands, arms, feet, and legs inside the vehicle. Now it's going to get a bit bumpy out here, so if you have any loose objects, hold on tight. We cannot make any stops, but if you drop anything, Hakuna Matata, no worries. Just let me know, and we'll get it to you as soon as we can. As long as an animal didn't get to it first. Anyway, if you look above your head, you'll see that animal spotting guide. That'll help you identify some of the animals that we might be seeing out here today. We might not see them all, but we usually get pretty lucky. And we're going to start our journey off here in the Little Aturi Forest. A lot of animals in this forest have very unique patterns on their fur, help them blend into their surroundings. So they might be a little bit harder to spot. We'll keep our eyes open. And on the right side, all the way in the back, is the okapi. Okapis kind of look like they're wearing zebra leggings, but they are not related to the zebra. They're actually the only relative of the giraffe. And we know that because they have the same skull shape and the same long prehensile tongue as the giraffe. Now that okapi does have two little ossicones on their head, which are horns covered in fur, and only male okapis have them. But every single giraffe has them since they're relatives. That must be a male okapi. They're also a little bit smaller than the females and a lot darker as well. Now coming up on our right, there is a black and white bird called a saddle-billed stork up on the top of the hill, and that big pile of sticks right there is the stork nest. Now the males have brown eyes and the females have yellow. It's thought that they mate for life. So there's one there, that might be the other one around here somewhere. Now their wingspan gets about 9 feet wide, which is the same width as the canopy above your head. So there's that one on the right. They do take turns sitting on the nest, so that one's probably walking over there to sit on the eggs. Hopefully they'll be hatching soon. Up ahead, you see a couple of antelopes. Now on the top of the hill, there's a bongo, the orange antelope. Bongos are known as the ghost of the forest. They're very good at hiding. There's actually 5 over here somewhere. And then the gray antelopes sitting there are the greater kudus. Now those kudus do not have any horns because they are female. However, male greater kudus do have horns. Now both those antelopes and also the okapi have white stripes either on their side or on their legs. Some of the stripes are there to mimic the sun rays coming through the trees, help them blend in and camouflage. Now we're heading down to the Safi River here. There are some bigger white birds down there called the pink-backed pelicans. They're also nesting, but they're a bit different than the storks because they are colonial nesters, which means that the whole colony will get together in the same nesting area each year. And a colony of pelicans can have up to 500 of them. And I saw a little hippo under the water over there. We're going to move on up and see if we get a little bit better view. Nice, bless you. Now, the Nile hippopotamus will spend most of the time in the water, especially when it's hot. Please remain seated at all times, folks. Please remain seated at all times. Sit down.
3 2 3. There's 3.
A group of hippos is called a float, which I don't know, I think that's kind of hippo-critical. Even though they do spend most of the time in the water, they're not very good at swimming. Instead, they gallop along the bottom of the water and then float up when they need a breath. Oh, sorry. We're my son right now. Now coming up on our hippopotamus in Africa. They get around 500 pounds and 16 feet long. And they have one of the most powerful bite forces of any animal. A crocodile can chomp down through bone. However, they can also be very gentle with those jaws. They will scoop up their baby's eggs inside their mouth if there's any danger. So you can roll them around against their teeth with their tongue to help them hatch. And sometimes baby crocodiles will even catch a ride in their parents' mouth to go faster over large distances. Now, speaking of large distances, looks like we're heading out to the savannah. You can see it a lot farther down there. So there's a lot less trees and bushes. It also means there are less places for the animals to hide, so they cannot rely on their camouflage to keep them safe as much as the friends we saw earlier in the forest. Instead, savanna animals must rely on their speed and agility. So we'll see if we get some closer views of some of those fast animals. Let's see a couple zebras and some wildebeest. Coming up on the right are the wildebeest. They're gray antelopes that have long sort of like hair on their tail. Their name means wild beast. Someplace they're called the gnu. G-N-U. Does the sound they make? It sounds like a new. Now up ahead are some springboks. They're the smallest antelope. They're only about 2 to 3 feet tall. That's as big as they get. But don't let that small size fool you. They're also one of the top 10 fastest land animals. Those little guys get up to 50 to 60 miles an hour. Those aren't goats. They're springboks. And then here are some Ankole cattle. They got those huge horns. It's about 4 feet long each. But their horns are surprisingly light. They have a honeycomb texture on the inside, so each horn only weighs about 5 to 7 pounds. Ankoles are considered sacred in most places, so they're almost never used for meat or milk. They are more like a symbol of wealth and status. So the more Ankole cows you got, the more money you have.
But they have a motorcycle.
They're a little bit hard to see, but coming up on our left, behind the cave on the right, are some painted dogs. They're sleeping back there. They're called the painted dog because it kind of looks like they have paint splotches of black, white, and orange on their coats. They are related to other dogs, other canids, like wolves. They just have less toes.
Look at this one.
Coming up on our left are quite a big herd of wildebeest. Oop, big stretch. And over your left shoulder are the sable antelopes. The sables have the razor-sharp curved back horns that protect from predators coming up from behind. If you've ever been on this safari before, 9 times out of 10, they're right there. That's because that's their territory. It's like the wildebeest might be getting up for a snack. They're usually sleeping around this time. They come up. On our left are a couple zebras. Now, these are Hartsman mountain zebras, and there's 2 babies. So this little one sitting down here is only about 5 months old.
Oh wow, tiny one, baby one.
And the babies will stick very close to their mom for about another year. They can tell which one is their mother because they will memorize an imprint on her unique striping pattern within an hour of their birth.
There's more. There's one right there.
Here's the other zebra just standing with her nose in the road.
Right here.
She's sleeping. I forgot if I said they're Hartsman mountain zebras. They're the only species with a dewlap, which is a flap of skin underneath their neck that regulates their body temperature. Other animals have the dewlap, but they're the only zebra.
Oh, there it is.
Oh, and then there's the other mom and baby up ahead.
Mom and baby one.
And there's my favorite Ankole cattle. The horns kind of face in like a halo. She likes to hang out by herself.
Ah, one guy continues there. Seeing any photo? Oh yeah, baby zebra.
I saw quite a few zebras. A group of zebras called a dazzle because of their dazzling stripes. Kind of confuses predators. Somebody just called on the radio that a giraffe is standing in the road somewhere, so I don't know. I don't see it, but probably get over here somewhere.
Is it true? Come to Zebra the Hill.
Oh, she's around.
Oh, giraffe.
Up ahead are a couple of Maasai giraffes. They have darker and scratchier spots than the other 7 subspecies of that.
Oh, wait,
I think that was the one that must have been standing in the road. Coming up down there on the right is a real big antelope that's called a eland. Elands get to about 2,000 pounds and can stand up to 6 feet tall. They are the second largest antelope in the world.
Inside.
There's that giraffe up here. And with those legs, takes a lot of energy for a giraffe to sit down and then stand back up. So they do prefer to stand all day. Even as they sleep, they will stand.
Hey, giraffe.
Giraffes will also stand as they give birth. Means the first thing a baby giraffe experiences is gravity. They will fall 6 feet to the ground. And it jumpstarts their lungs, gets them ready to run within an hour of their birth. Now coming up here is quite a lot of trees knocked down, which means they're probably going to be entering into elephant territory. Sometimes if an elephant wants to eat the leaves on the top of the tree, they can't reach it. They use their tusks to knock the tree down to get a snack. On the right, there is one. Elephant over there.
How many elephants?
Now, all elephants have real big ears, but the African elephants have the largest. Their ears also is the shape of the continent of Africa. Now on the left there's a couple of mandrills. The same monkey Rafiki from The Lion King is. Now that big one is a male, and the 2 little ones full-grown females. And the more colorful the male mandrill is, the more attractive he is to the much less colorful females.
How do you want me to take a photo of you?
Now, there's just one elephant over here, so it's probably a male. They would usually hang out alone, while female elephants get together in a large herd. So we'll move on forward and see if we can find the matriarchal herd. Under this bridge is some red clay. It's very high in sodium, and elephants love a salty snack. So coming up on the right, you'll be able to see some tusk marks, evidence of the elephants digging in. So they'll fight to eat. Oh, here's one. Real close by. Oh, and there's baby. Our baby just turned a year old. Been waiting a while for baby The gestation period of an elephant is very long. Her mom was pregnant for 22 months. Hard pass. The babies were also born weighing up to 200 pounds. No thanks. Matriarchal herd is multi-generational, so the baby's mother and grandmother live here, and she'll stay with this herd for the rest of her life as well. Coming up is a flamboyance of greater flamingos. They're called the greater because they are the tallest flamingo. They're also the palest pink. You see kind of under their wings, and their legs are much more flamboyant colored pink. Looks like a turn over here. Like to do little chickies when they're trying to grab that food under around there. There are 3 very young flamingos there. They still have gray legs. They hatch small, fluffy, and gray. And within a year or so of their life, they will eat so much shrimp, they turn that pink color. White rhinos are a lot bigger than the other African rhinoceros species. They're also a lot more social, so they're always found in a big herd. It looks like this rhino's about to cross the road. A group of rhinos called a crash because they don't have the greatest eyesight, but they do have a good sense of smell, sense of hearing, so sometimes they will smell you before they see you. There's a couple of boars zooming up ahead. Get a real good view of their quite wide face. Also graze the grass of the snack.
I was taking the picture.
And they're a little bit harder to spot. Coming up on our left side in the top corner, there are a couple of cheetahs. Cheetahs, like most cats, like to chillax. But unlike most cats, they're actually more active during the day. This is when they have better eyesight. There's 2 over there. They're very cute. They actually cannot roar. Instead, cheetahs purr and meow, just like your house cat. They're the biggest cats that can do that. And there's another couple of big cats coming up that can roar, but these ones haven't really figured out how to roar yet. They're very young. Up there are lions, a lion around. Lions will sleep or rest for 16 to 20 hours a day. Oop, big yawn. It's the females that do the hunting at night. Big stretch now. So yeah, the females do the hunting while the male stays at home, protects the cubs and the pride. He's got that big fluffy head of hair. Well, his mane is pretty small because they're quite young, but as he ages, it'll get a lot bigger. He's a lot darker as well. Protects them, kind of like a helmet.
dari anu Sabrina?
Now, this bride are only about 2 years old, so they don't really know how to roar quite yet, but once they figure it out at top volume, the lion's roar can be heard from up to 5 miles around, so anywhere on this reserve you can hear them. Coming up on our left here, we got these tunnels, which belong to the warthog, the largest burrowing animal in Africa. They use their tusks and their humps to dig their tunnels and forage for snacks like roots. Now these are younger females. Their tusks and their hooves, and their horns are not as pronounced as an older male. And then on the right side are a couple of water bucks. They're fluffy little antelope. They have white rings around their butt. That's how they keep track of each other at night. And then there's an ostrich over there sitting down. Ostriches are the biggest and tallest bird. They can stand up to 9 feet tall. But they are flightless. They do use those big wings to change direction as they run. And then coming up on our right are the ostrich's eggs. There must be a few in the area because each female will lay 1 or 2 eggs a week in the sand nest for safety. But the eggs are very safe on their own. A single ostrich egg weighs about as much as 24 chicken eggs. They're so dense, an adult human can stand on one and it wouldn't even crack the shell.
Ay, pwede selesai. Oh, what did I have? No, hello.
Into the Magadi Glen, this is where the warden's post is. It's the warden's job to protect, monitor, and take care of all the animals that we saw out there. Well, the ones here in the Glen, the Nigerian dwarf goat. They're a little bit smaller than most goats, they're like 3 feet tall, and they have a fantastic sense of balance. So one of their favorite activities is to climb. Oh look, there's one in the back of the truck, ready for a ride. Now they're quite popular to keep, not just in Africa, but all over the world, since they do take up a lot less room and need less resources. Now, if you'd like to pet any Nigerian dwarf goats, there are some over at Rafiki's Planet Watch. They have goats, pigs, cows, donkeys, and sheep to pet over there. And then right next door is the Conservation Center. Inside you can check out and learn about a bunch of cool little critters. They have a bunch of different insects, like the praying mantis. They have amphibians like poison dart frogs and axolotls. The vet clinic and nutrition windows there too. So if any animals are gonna check out the big they're there, man. See that happening. Now, the only way to get over there is by taking the train. The Wildlife Express leaves from the Harambe station about every 5 minutes. And we'll go on a backstage tour of the Savannah, so you might see some big friends around there back there. This looks like it's time for us to part ways up ahead. So now it's time to say goodbye. But we don't like to say goodbye here in Harambe. It's just far too sad and much too final. So instead of saying goodbye, we say kwaherini, which means to go well in Swahili. So go well, go wild, and have a great rest of your day here at Animal Kingdom, or wherever your virtues take you. You're sitting on the right-hand side, watch your hands, arms, feet, and legs. Doors will be opening. Kwaherini, watch your step as you exit. Asante Sana, thanks for joining me. Happy holidays, have a good day.
Ya, gak Paka. Sama aja. Bye.